Beloved soul, imagine a man sitting alone in the quiet hours of the night, reflecting deeply on the woman who once let him go, not with anger erupting, not with bitterness poisoning the memory, but with a sense of profound respect mixed with quiet longing that he cannot shake. Why does this stay with him so deeply, haunting his thoughts and stirring his spirit? Because she showed something rare and powerful in this world. True strength, unshakable self-respect, and genuine independence that cannot be faked or performed. Type in the comments right now. I believe God values my worth. This is not just words. This is your spiritual declaration that you recognize heaven sees your value even when others overlook it. Letting go wasn't a sign of weakness for her, beloved. It was a demonstration of her power, her spiritual maturity, her understanding that God created her for more than settling for less than she deserves. There's a certain divine paradox in relationships that few people truly understand, a mystery that heaven reveals only to those with eyes to see. And it's this profound truth, sometimes walking away, stepping back from what's familiar, and choosing yourself over comfort is the most powerful action a person can take, the most God-honoring decision available. When a woman lets a man go with dignity, grace, and unshakable self-respect, it leaves an impact that lingers far beyond the moment itself, far beyond the initial pain. It plants seeds in his consciousness that will grow over time, seeds of realization about what he lost, about who she truly was, about the rare quality of woman he allowed to walk away. Write in the comments, I walk away with dignity. This is claiming the power of holy self-respect. If this is your first time here, welcome to Angel's Whisper, a sacred space created for divine messages, spiritual insight, and prophetic understanding about relationships, worth, and the power God has placed within every woman who knows her value. This is a place where truth meets the heart, where heaven's wisdom meets human experience, where women learn to honor themselves the way God honors them. I invite you to subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay connected, because every message shared here is meant to guide you into the fullness of who God created you to be, a woman of strength, dignity, and uncompromising worth. Today we're exploring the spiritual and psychological truth behind why men often feel a deeper pull, a stronger attraction, a more profound respect toward the women who choose themselves first, and how this act of self-prioritization, this holy self-care, this biblical stewardship of your own soul transforms respect, attraction, and genuine connection in ways that chasing, clinging, and compromising never can. The magnetic power of independence is among the most influential and spiritually significant traits a woman can have in any relationship, beloved. It isn't about shutting off love or rejecting connection or building walls around your heart. It's about understanding your own worth before God, knowing the value He placed in you, and refusing to lose yourself by being swallowed up by someone else's life, expectations, or need for control. A woman who embodies this God-given independence sends a clear, undeniable message that resonates at a soul level. I am complete on my own because Christ completes me. I don't need you to feel whole because God has already made me whole. Type this, I am complete in Christ. This is the foundation of holy independence. That message carries weight, beloved. It carries spiritual authority, and men sense it immediately. even if they can't articulate what they're sensing. True independence is rare in this world, and rarity is magnetic. Most people, both men and women, tie their sense of identity too closely to their relationships. They rely on their partner for validation, for purpose, for happiness, for their very sense of self-worth. And while it is natural and biblical to desire companionship, God Himself said, "It is not good for man to be alone." The moment a person becomes completely dependent on someone else for their emotional and spiritual stability, they risk losing themselves entirely. They trade their identity for the relationship. They exchange who God made them to be for who someone else needs them to be. For men, a woman who shows she doesn't need him to feel whole, to define her existence, to give her life meaning, is both refreshing and deeply inspiring. She is seen not as someone to be saved or fixed or rescued, but as an equal, a partner, someone worthy of admiration and respect. Frout in the comments, "I don't need saving, I need partnership." This is the shift from dependency to equality. When she chooses to walk away from a relationship that no longer serves her highest good, that no longer honors her God-given value, she is making a bold declaration that echoes in the spiritual realm. I value myself too much to accept less than what I deserve. I honor what God placed in me too much to diminish it for temporary comfort. This act of self-respect can shake a man's world to its foundation. It forces him to pause in his assumptions, to reflect on his behavior, to reassess not only the relationship, but also his own actions and character. Was he truly honoring her worth? Was he showing genuine appreciation for her presence, or was he taking it for granted like a cheap gift? Was he treating her like the treasure she is, or like something common he could find anywhere? Proverbs 31:10 asks, "A wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies." When a woman of noble character walks away from someone who doesn't recognize her value, she's demonstrating that she knows her worth, that she agrees with heaven's assessment of her, not earth's devaluation. Type boldly, "I know my worth." This is agreement with heaven's valuation. Men are naturally wired by God to respect strength, and independence is strength at its purest form. It is easy to remain in a relationship because of fear of being alone, fear of discomfort, fear of starting over, or simply because the relationship is familiar, even if it's dysfunctional. But it takes extraordinary courage and profound self-awareness for a woman to recognize that something isn't right and to make the difficult choice to step away. This kind of courage is magnetic to a healthy man. It is not rejection of the man as a person. It is a declaration of self-ownership, of refusing to be defined by his choices, his treatment, his level of commitment or lack thereof. Independence does more than inspire respect. It challenges men to grow, to rise, to become better versions of themselves. When a woman is confident in her value before God, when she knows what she brings to a relationship, a man faces a choice: rise to meet her at her level, or fall behind and lose her. This often requires him to take responsibility for his actions, to examine his own behavior honestly, to elevate himself to become the partner she deserves, rather than the boy she's been tolerating. Route this declaration. My standard challenges him to grow. This is understanding your catalytic role. The awakening power of absence there is a simple but profound truth in relationships that operates like a spiritual law. Beloved, We often don't realize the value of someone until they are gone. When a woman chooses to step away, to remove herself from a dynamic that wasn't honoring her, she creates a space in his life that cannot be easily replaced by anyone else. This absence is more than physical distance. It is emotional, mental, and spiritual. For many men, this void becomes a catalyst for reflection and painful realization. Desire intensifies in her absence because men are naturally wired by God to pursue, to earn, to cherish what they value. But when a woman is always readily available, always accommodating, always there no matter how she's treated, her presence is easily overlooked. Her value is taken for granted. Type in the comments, "My absence creates awakening." This is understanding the power of space. But when she removes herself with dignity and self-respect, the dynamic changes completely. Her absence creates a gap that highlights all the qualities she brought into his life. The laughter that made hard days bearable, the energy that lifted his spirit, the support that strengthened him, the unique presence that made every moment brighter and more meaningful. In this quiet absence, in this sudden void, he didn't expect to feel so deeply. A man begins to notice what he once took completely for granted. The moments they shared that he dismissed as ordinary suddenly become precious memories. The ways she made him feel seen and understood gain new significance. The warmth and genuine connection she offered, the acceptance she gave, all gain weight in retrospect. Ecclesiastes 3:6 speaks of a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away. Sometimes throwing away what isn't working is the only way to discover what was valuable. Write this: he sees my value in my absence. This is the paradox of worth revealed through loss. Absence makes desire sharper, clearer, more vivid in a man's consciousness. He may begin to compare her to others in his life, and he quickly realizes that no one else measures up to what she was, to what she offered, to the quality of woman she is. It isn't that she has changed or become different. It is that he has finally gained perspective, finally removed the blindness that familiarity creates. The longing he feels, the reflection he's forced into, the recognition of her true value become overwhelming in the silence she left behind. The strength she demonstrated, the independence she embodied, the dignity with which she chose herself over settling. These qualities are imprinted in his mind and heart like a seal that cannot be removed. A woman who lets a man go demonstrates the most profound power available to her, the ability to love herself more than she needs his approval, the courage to walk away from what doesn't serve her. The wisdom to understand her worth isn't determined by his recognition of it. Type this declaration: I love myself more than I need his approval. This is the foundation of holy self-respect. Men cannot ignore this kind of strength. They feel it in their core, in their spirit. They respect it even when it hurts them. They desire it because it represents what they lack. And they are often compelled to rise, to change, to become better in order to match it, to earn back what they lost. The transformative nature of emotional strength. Emotional strength is one of the most magnetic and spiritually powerful qualities a person can possess, beloved. And when a woman embodies it, when she walks in it with consistency, she becomes a force that cannot be ignored or dismissed. This strength is not about shutting down feelings or pretending to be invulnerable or acting like nothing affects you. Rather, it is about having the courage to face reality honestly, make difficult decisions that cost you something, and prioritize self-respect over temporary comfort or fear of loss. For men, this kind of emotional resilience rooted in spiritual maturity is deeply inspiring and often convicting. Rife in the comments, "My strength is rooted in God." This is the source of unshakable resilience. When a woman walks away with grace, dignity, and quiet determination, she sends a powerful message that resonates in the spiritual realm. I am not afraid to release what does not serve my highest good, what doesn't honor the calling God has on my life. Letting go of someone you care about deeply is never an easy choice. It requires extraordinary bravery to honor your own needs, values, and future, even when your heart is breaking. That bravery commands respect and admiration from anyone with the spiritual maturity to recognize it. Men are drawn to women who display this kind of emotional strength because it challenges them to rise to the occasion, to match that maturity, to become men worthy of that kind of woman. A strong woman sets a standard of maturity, composure, and spiritual stability that inspires growth in those around her. She does not rely on manipulation, drama, or exaggerated emotional displays to prove her point or get attention. Instead, her actions speak volumes about her character. Her strength lies in her ability to remain calm, composed, and authentic even in the face of pain, uncertainty, or devastating loss. James 1:2-4 instructs, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." Type this: "Trials make me stronger." This is seeing God's purpose in painful seasons. This emotional resilience reflects deep self-awareness that comes from time spent with God. She understands her emotions, processes them fully before Him, and aligns her choices with her core values and His Word. She does not let fear of loneliness, social expectations pressuring her to stay, or temporary discomfort dictate her decisions about her future. She moves forward with clarity, knowing her worth is inherent in being God's daughter, not dependent on anyone else's recognition or approval. This kind of self-assurance rooted in divine identity is incredibly magnetic, leaving a lasting impression that does not fade with time. When a woman walks away with emotional strength, it also creates a sense of mystery and intrigue that captivates. She does not crumble into pieces. She does not beg or plead for another chance. She does not seek validation from the one who devalued her. She chooses herself without apology. This behavior disrupts his expectations completely, forcing him to see her in an entirely new light. The ability to maintain dignity and composure in the midst of emotional difficulty, heartbreak, and loss makes her unforgettable. Moreover, emotional strength does not mean shutting down completely or becoming cold and hard. A strong woman can still be appropriately vulnerable, but she shares her vulnerability thoughtfully, only with those who have proven themselves trustworthy and worthy of that sacred gift. Write this declaration: "I guard my vulnerability wisely." This is spiritual stewardship of your heart. This careful balance between openness and self-protection amplifies her power and mystery. She does not allow emotions to control her decisions. Rather, she uses them to guide her toward what is right, what is healthy, what honors God's design for her life. Men often admire this because it reflects qualities they aspire to have themselves: courage, self-discipline, and a deep understanding of personal worth. The essential foundation of boundaries. One of the deepest lessons in love that heaven teaches is this profound truth. Beloved, love without boundaries is not true love. It is dependency. It is codependency. It is dysfunction disguised as devotion. A woman who establishes and firmly enforces her boundaries teaches an essential truth about respect that many people never learn. By walking away when her boundaries are consistently crossed, when her clearly stated needs are ignored, she reinforces that love is not about control, compromise at any cost, or sacrificing one's values and identity on the altar of keeping someone comfortable. Type in the comments, boundaries are biblical. This is recognizing that limits honor God's design. Boundaries are not walls meant to push others away permanently or to punish them. They are declarations of self-worth, clear guidelines defining how she wants and needs to be treated, standards that uplift the relationship rather than diminish it or enable dysfunction. Boundaries are essential because they protect emotional, mental, and physical well-being, ensuring that a relationship remains balanced, healthy, and mutually respectful. When a woman confidently sets her boundaries and enforces them without guilt, she is demonstrating a profound sense of self-worth that comes from knowing who she is in Christ. She is not asking for too much or being unreasonable. She is simply stating clearly what she deserves based on her value as God's daughter. For men, a woman who upholds her boundaries consistently is someone to be respected, admired, and valued highly. It shows she knows exactly who she is, what she wants, what she will no longer compromise on. This clarity is magnetic because it removes ambiguity, sets clear expectations, and fosters mutual understanding instead of the confusion that comes from having no standards. Proverbs 4:23 commands, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Boundaries are how you obey this command practically in relationships. Route this: my boundaries guard my heart. This is biblical obedience, not selfishness. When a woman has the spiritual strength to say clearly, "This is what I need, and if it's not met, I am willing to walk away rather than compromise who God made me to be," she commands admiration. She is not begging for love, attention, or validation. She is insisting on respect as a non-negotiable baseline. True love flourishes within the framework of healthy boundaries. Beloved, boundaries create a safe space where both partners can grow, evolve, and thrive without fear of being taken for granted, used, or overstepped repeatedly. When a man encounters a woman who enforces her boundaries with consistency, he is presented with a challenge to rise to her level of emotional maturity, spiritual integrity, and self-awareness. This challenge encourages him to reflect deeply on his actions, evaluate his true respect for her, and deepen his understanding of what real relationship requires. Letting go when boundaries are consistently crossed and dismissed is not an act of revenge or punishment. It is an act of self-preservation, of self-love, of honoring what God placed in you. It sends a clear, unambiguous message that cannot be misunderstood. I value myself enough to demand what I deserve. I honor God's design in me too much to accept mistreatment as normal. Type boldly, I will not settle for disrespect. This is the standard God calls you to maintain. The undeniable attraction of confidence is another of the most compelling and attractive qualities anyone can possess in any context. Few things demonstrate true confidence more powerfully than the ability to let go of something that no longer serves you, even when letting go hurts, even when you still have feelings. When a woman leaves a relationship not out of anger, manipulation, or fear, but out of self-respect and clear understanding of her own worth, she radiates a level of confidence that is both captivating and unforgettable to anyone who witnesses it. Confidence is not arrogance, beloved, and it is not pretending to be unaffected by pain. It is the unwavering faith in oneself and in God's plan, the ability to navigate life even through uncertainty and heartbreak. Letting go requires immense strength because it means stepping into the unknown without guarantees. Wrote in the comments, "My confidence is rooted in God's faithfulness. This is the source of unshakable self-assurance."